Hello, I am author Laura Diehl and also the founder of GPS Hope, Grieving Parents Sharing Hope. And today I want to bring a word of hope and encouragement to you. As someone who's lost a child, we lost our daughter in October of 2011. And so it will be 5 years this October we will be coming up on. And earlier today, I was talking to the lady who was cutting my hair, and she asked me if I had plans for the 4th of July. That's coming up in just a few days here. And we don't really have any big plans for the 4th, but the next day on the 5th, I told her that I actually have a book coming out in bookstores and that we would be celebrating that. And so that started a conversation. And of course, it sounds very exciting to say you're an author with a publisher and have a book coming out until people find out the subject of the book, which is the death of our daughter and how I was able to come out of that blackness, and how my heart and my passion is to reach out to other parents and help them, just hold their hand and walk with them through the grief as they also come out of that darkness of the death of their child. And so it is a very bittersweet thing. And she shared with me that she has had 3 miscarriages. She also has 3 children that are here that she's raising, but she actually was far enough along in all 3 of them that she said we buried all 3 of those babies. And of course, my heart just went out to her, and it's just so amazing to me how often you just don't know. We have no idea how many people around us, that there are people around us who have also lost a child. And it's not something that we talk about. And today also, I went out with a friend, and then she called me a few hours later, just a little while ago, and said, "You're not going to believe this. I went back into work, and my boss wanted to see me for something, and we got to talking, and I was talking about your book and about the retreat you're putting together for grieving moms." And she said, "Well, I've lost a son, right?" And she was totally shocked. And it was many years ago, and he was very young, an infant. But of course, the loss will never go. It always runs very deep, and the emotion of that loss. And so she was sharing with me the same thing. She had no idea that this was part of the past of her boss, who has become a friend to her. And the reason I'm telling you this is because I want to encourage you that there are people around you that you have no idea that they have gone through the same blackness and the same darkness that you might have found yourself thrown into right now. There are people around you who have also lost a child, and it's not something that we advertise. It's not something that we tell everybody. And I know I sure wanted to. When I was in that place of darkness, that became my identity. It was like even going to the store, the clerk at the store, I would want to hand her my money and say, "And my child died." You just want everybody to know that. It just feels like that's who you are, and everybody needs to know that. But I want to tell you that as you continue in this journey, you will get past that place, and you will get past that intensity of feeling like you need everybody to know this. And it's not, we do not forget our children. We do not go on. It's not like, when are you going to get on with things? It's not like that at all. But we do find a way to live life again. And it sounds, where you might be right now, that might sound absolutely impossible. I remember a specific time that it turned a corner for me. I was in the cemetery. I went to the cemetery a lot to visit my daughter. And I think I've shared this before if you've seen some of my other videos. And I spent a lot of time there the first year and a half or so. And I would just walk around the cemetery and read the tombstones and the dates and see the ages of the other people and children buried in the cemetery. And I remember one time I was standing at my daughter Becca's grave and I was crying and I was just looking around and I just looked at all these tombstones that were around, and it suddenly dawned on me, every single one of these tombstones represents a loss, and it represents somebody's pain and their grief and their darkness and their blackness. And a lot of these were children or teenagers, they're young adults like my daughter, and somehow they made it through, and somehow I can make it through this. I don't know how, but somehow I can, because I know all these other people have. And so I encourage you with that. You can make it through. Just continue to reach out for hope. And with that, I have something I want to show you real quick. I put this together as a word of encouragement. I hope I'm not making you too dizzy. My cord is stuck here. See that? I put that together just for you. It starts with hope. That's where it starts. It starts with hope. And I just want to remind you that we are here to be a light of hope in your time of darkness.